I'll put it on YouTube. If you guys ever want to go back, I've got a YouTube channel. I'm just going to start putting them on my YouTube channel because as great as Facebook is, it's not letting me upload the hour-long videos on there. So I'm just going to put them on YouTube. So you can, yeah, you just go on YouTube and like and subscribe.
Just search for your name.
Yeah, For All Yoga with Denise Bell. Yeah, and there's probably like 30 or 40 videos on there already. So yeah, okay. So today's practice is a focus on our chest opening and creating some lung capacity, right, with our breath. Our mantra for today is I make the time to experience joy. Well, that's our little affirmation. So whenever maybe the mind wanders, bring it back to I make the time to experience joy. Stay in the moment with yourself today. So we'll start our seated pose. Like I showed the ladies earlier, these bolsters or blocks can be really good for anyone with hip issues. Because it takes that big flexion out of your crisscross, it lets your legs go down a little bit so you can rest a little bit easier there. Yeah. Oh, one more thing. So I only have a few pillowcases. So if you guys have a pillowcase you can just keep with you to use on your bolster, that'd be fantastic. Okay, let's get started. Let's lift up nice and tall. Relax those shoulders back and down and breathe. Let's put our palms up today just to feel open, and that already kind of opens up across our heart. We can close our eyes if that feels nice for our body in this moment, or you can keep them open. Do a little bit of breath awareness. By breathing in, we'll bring our index finger and our thumb finger together. And then exhale, we'll move our thumb to our next finger, our middle finger. Take a breath in there. Then your thumb will move to your ring finger. And you'll take a breath in there. So on your own, one finger at a time, one breath at a time, for about 10 breaths. I'll call you back. We'll make our way back and start to take a big breath in as we reach our hands up towards the sky, and exhale, bring our hands back towards Mother Earth. Inhale, sweeping up. Maybe our thumbs touch, maybe not, all on your own. Staying strong through our core whenever we're reaching over top of our head. One more. And on our next one, our left hand will come down to the left side of the mat. Our right arm will stay up and we'll look underneath that right arm. Inhale, come back up. Exhale, tip over to the other side. So we're thinking of bending our spine, just flexing it from side to side. Each time we come up to the middle, imagine lengthening the spine and then a gentle bend over. Close your eyes and move with your breath. Last one. Big breath up, inhale. We'll bring our hands to our hearts and take our right foot out. Actually, let's take both of our feet out. Just do some pointing and flexing with our toes. And we'll notice as we flex, our quadricep becomes tight. As we point, our hamstring and our calf becomes tight. So we'll flex and point. Warming that up. We'll take our right foot over up top of our left thing and let it be loose. So just give it a little shake. And without using the strength of your foot, you'll make some rotations with so your hand is doing the work, your ankle is loosening up. Let's just switch sides. So bring it up and over, let it loosen. You're gonna shake it, go, come on, loosen up. And then you'll try to use your hand holding onto your foot to make the rotation for you. Amazing. We'll bring it back to easy crisscross or our feet out in front of us. Bring our elbows up wide. We'll hold on to our shoulders and just notice, how are those shoulders feel? Are they creeping up? So let's let them go down. And then as we bring our elbows towards each other, we'll tuck our chin. Inhale and open them up. Exhale and tuck. Feel the chest open and then feel the back open. Let go of your morning. Making the time today to experience joy. On our next one, we'll bring our elbows in front, but they're not quite touching. I'm just going to sit up and then we'll lift them up and then back. Yeah, I'll pass you one. I'll pass you one. So we're going forward, up, and back. There you go. Last one. So we separate, then we feel the shoulder blades lifting, and then they slide back in to hug the spine. One more. You know, sometimes I say last one and it means 3 more. Okay, bring it out and open up. So we're actively reaching through our fingertips. Our core is strong. Let's turn our thumbs down now and reach with our thumbs to stretch our biceps. So now the biceps are reaching, or our thumbs are reaching. Turn it back around. Wonderful. Bring it back. Hands come to our heart. Let's take our left ear to our left shoulder. Just gravity, right? Just let gravity bring it closer. If you'd like to increase the sensation, so that right hand will press down. If you'd like even more, you can use the weight of your hand on your head, but you don't have to. Sometimes gravity, or a lot of the time, gravity is enough. We'll lift our head up again, lengthen up our cervical spine, and then tip it over to the other side. If it feels okay, we can push away, or we can use our head to add a little bit of weight. We'll release that hand, bring our head up, tuck our chin towards our chest. Lift up our chin and now turn our chin towards our right shoulder. A gentle noticing of how your neck's doing today. Bring it around to the front and then the other side. We'll bring it back around to the front. And then open up our cactus arms. So sometimes we add these arms onto our poses, and they're a great way to open across your heart. So take a moment to notice our elbows are out in line with our chest, and we'll turn, but keep that so the chest turns, not the elbow. Chest. Really gentle, be nice to the spine. Come back to center, and we'll turn the other direction. Good, let's bring it back. Draw the right arm across the body, stretch our shoulder. We can look down the right shoulder. We're there for about 5 breaths. I'm going to make sure it's not on mute because now I'm nervous that it's on mute. Okay, we're good. Incredible. So chin around first, then let's open up and expand. Exhale, bring the opposite arm across, drop the shoulder down and look down and breathe. Listen to your body in this moment and make the time to experience joy. We'll bring our chin around, our chest around, tuck our thumbs into our hands and awaken our wrists, because we will be putting some pressure on our wrists in our next pose, cat and cow, but I'll show you a modification. Other way. Cracky, cracky. That's okay. That's just lubrication, lubricating those joints, getting rid of the air. All right, let's make our way to all fours. If there's any poses that you ever need a modification for, depending on the day, you can either speak up during class or come get me after class and I'll help you. So for your wrists in cat and cow, fists could be for wrists so that you don't have the flexion. You use your fists, or forearm, and you just let your wrist just hang out here instead of putting the weight of your body down. There's a few other ones, so if you need more, you can let me know. So let's disperse the weight into both of our knees, both of our hands, and then move through cat and cow. So we'll tuck our tailbones, separate our shoulder blades, and inhale, open up into cow. So it's the opposite of cat. The chest is going towards the floor. And then we draw that pelvic floor up, separate our back, and then flow through all on your own. And because today's practice is mostly focused around our chest here, think of your chest. In cow pose, it's expanding towards the mat. In cat pose, you're drawing it up and separating the back. Couple more of those lovelies. And we'll be taking a breather in child's pose, or, well, you could go into downward dog. So we'll be sliding our hips back towards our heels. You can have a lot of space between your knees if you want, or you can have them right together. We rest down, maybe put a block under our forehead if the head doesn't quite come to the mat today, or the mat goes on the head goes on the mat. And while we're here, just breathing, feeling an expansion across your lower back. Taking the time today to experience joy and be present in our body without judgment, just noticing. We'll bring it back up to all fours, and we'll add our spinal balance on now with a little bit of chest expansion. Bringing our right arm forward and our left foot back. So modifications for this one are to tap on the floor instead. And open. Now we open and then bring it back and down. Other side, inhale, reach. Exhale, open. You can do your foot too if you want to, but you don't have to. Bring it back and down. All on your own. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, open. Inhale, lengthen again. Exhale, down to all fours. All on your own, side to side. We can close our eyes and move at our own perfect pace with your breath today. Amazing. You're never stuck in a pose. You can go and rest anytime. Last one, back to child's pose or down dog. Some modifications for child's pose would be to put a little towel behind your knees if you wanted to help your knees out a bit. Gazing up at our hands, we'll come into a kneeling plank, so coming forward. Shift the weight forward so the core catches us, and then shift back to child's pose. A few more on your own. Inhale into a full or kneeling plank. And exhale back to child's pose. And the gaze. So the gaze is coming up between your hands, a little bit in front, and then back to the floor. Bringing our movement together with our breath. Last one, we'll be holding in our plank pose. If you wanted to do full plank, you could. And as our elbow creases face the front of the room, we'll slowly lower down onto our bellies. Focusing on our chest today, let's open up into Cobra. Think of drawing the chest forward and up. Really nice to the back, back down. Inhale, open. Exhale, down. Incredible. About 5 more of those. You can play around with unweighting your hands if you're taking care of your wrists. Letting go of all competition today with ourselves or others. Last one. Let's press our hands into the mat, but I want to be very careful when we lift. Now the core is strong and try to bring our chest and our hips at the same time up. So that's not the Cobra, so we're not bending our back. And then back to child's pose. Resting here now or flowing with me. Inhale, coming forward. Exhale down to the belly or resting. Inhale, Cobra. Exhale back to your belly, so your back bent there. Now the back is strong and we lift up and back to child's pose. So you can again rest or flow. Inhale into your plank. Exhaling to the belly. Inhale, open, the hips are down. Exhale down. Now we lift all at the same time. Strong torso, back to child's pose. Resting or flowing again, adding in what you want. Coming forward. Your whole exhale to come down. Inhale, your whole Oprah. I don't know what I was that a breath and Cobra combined? I don't know. I don't know, sometimes my brain. Make it back to child's pose. And just one last one, or take a rest. Forward. Amazing. Inhaling to all fours. Now, if you'd like to go to downward dog, you can, or go back to child's pose. So an exhale to child's or down dog. That's our flow now. Inhale to all fours. Exhale either to child's pose or down dog. So choosing which one feels good for you. Or you can kind of mix it up and go down dog, all fours, child's pose. Or you can have a little rest. On our last one, we'll be ending in our all fours and then bringing our right foot up between the hands or kind of to the inside of that right hand. So if it doesn't want to get there, just walk it up. Hang on to your foot. You can either scoot it up like this, yeah, or walk it up. I'd like to stretch our hip flexor a little bit today. So let's shift that hip forward. But check in with your foot. Make sure it's far enough forward that your knee is not in front of your toe. Yeah, amazing. All right, so the hand comes inside the foot. We sweep that one back, even though we just got it up there, and then we sweep the other one forward, or you just scoot it up, or give it a hand to place it safely under your knee. And then we're gonna shift into this hip flexor a little bit. So hip flexor right here is a stretch. So you could use your blocks anytime you want to. You don't have to wait for me to use them. Anytime you want to, use them to empower yourself in your pose. All right, so we're gonna make our way now to forward fold. We wanna tuck our back toes onto the mat, anchor through this front foot, push, forward fold. We've got our chairs handy, even our blocks handy to help. Notice some space between our feet. Take your time and let the head be heavy. So really stretching our back of our neck. Halfway lift. Focus on how that chest opens and the shoulders roll away from the ears. And then we fold again, breathe out. You could use your blocks here. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. One more time, halfway lift and fold. All the way up, breathe in. We'll sweep up to the sky. Exhale to chair pose. Flowing chair, inhale, sweeping. Exhale, sitting back. All on your own. Letting go of any judgment today. Making the time to experience joy. Wonderful. And to flow through our chest theme, we'll go into our flowing airplane, but chest open. So hands extended now, instead of our usual reach back. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, dive forward, feel the chest expand. There's a little tension between the shoulder blades. Back up, inhale. All on your own, close your eyes. Got about 5 more. We'll come all the way up. Bring our palms to face the floor, nice and wide. As we exhale, our right arm goes on top of our left, but we're keeping them long. Open up. And the other side. Long, so still reaching. Open. Hands come back. Let's open up, chest expansion. Breathe in. You can stay up or fold. Depends on how you're feeling today. If you want to fold over, you can. But you don't have to. You could stay up. A little softness in our knees, strength in our core and our pelvic floor. Big breath up, inhale. Let's bring our hands to our heart center and step our, what do I want to do here today? Let's take our left foot, your left foot back. So you end up with your toes pointing towards the long edge of your mat, out towards the corners, those top corners facing the beautiful, amazing windows. Okay. Moonflower time with chest focus. So when we reach up, our chest focus is to bring those elbows kind of back towards your back pockets. Inhale up. Exhale, bend our elbows, bend our knees. And if it feels okay for you in this moment, close your eyes and go at your own pace. If you're taking care of your knees, we're not going down as far. And let's be mindful that we're sitting our hips back and honoring those knees today. All right, holding it in goddess pose. So that's just down at the bottom of our moonflower. Check in with the knees. So you can kind of see your big toes from the insides of your knees. Kind of. It's not a must though. Hands will come back behind us, chest expansion. Hands behind our head, and we're opening our elbows up. We're very aware of our quads, our pelvic floor. One more breath. Tick-tock our feet together. We'll walk our way back up towards the tops of our mats. And we'll do a little sun breath today instead of our full sun salutation. So it's basically half of a sun salutation without flowing down to the mat. But it's a nice one to do in the morning. Big breath up, inhale. And we exhale to forward fold. We come halfway up into our lift. Fold again. Now we sweep to sky. And we exhale to mountain. That's one sun breath. Inhale, sweep. Exhale, dive. Halfway lift. Folding again. Sweeping up. That's extended mountain, and exhale, regular mountain. On our next one, we'll have a little change with our hands. Exhale forward. Halfway lift, breathe in. Exhale, fold. Now this time, if you'd like to do a small back bend with your hands together at the top, you can. Come back to neutral, hands to heart. Inhale, sweep. Exhale, dive and fold. Halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, sweep. Choose hands together or not, back bend or not. And then hands to heart, nice strong core. Think of a funny little thing I like to think of. Whenever I bring my hands to heart, I think of my head like a little turtle poking out of his shell. I know. Big breath up. Exhale, fold. Halfway lift, breathe in. And then fold again. Sweep to sky, back bend or not, you choose. Exhale, lengthen neck. Inhale, sweep, last sun breath. Exhale, fold. Halfway lift. Folding again. Sweeping up, back bend or not, it's up to you. And then straighten it out, lengthen the neck. One more, just a mountain breath. Inhale up. Exhale, hands by our sides. Palms are open. So you can play around with how that feels. When the palms are open, the chest automatically opens up a little bit. Fingertips reach down and we're reaching our head up. Closing our eyes maybe. Let's transfer our weight onto our right foot by lifting up our left heel. And then the other side. See how one side of your body's feeling compared to the other. And bring it down. Let's reach up and grab a hold of our elbows today, but you don't have to. So instead of now our hands reaching up, just our elbows are reaching up. A little tip over if you'd like. Then we come back to the center and lengthen again and tip over. Then we'll come up, bend our knees, take our belly onto our knees and extend our hands long into bear pose. And then albatross. So it's basically the same legs, but the hands are now open like wings, palms towards the floor. Your albatrosses now. No longer people. Straightening the legs, hands come to our sides. Exhale, inhale, sweep. Exhale, come down to our bear pose, belly right on the thighs, knees are bent. Inhale, albatross. Exhale, stand. Inhale up. Exhale into our bear pose, belly on the thighs. Inhale, albatross. Exhale, stand. Let's do that one more time. Strong belly and back. All right, roll those shoulders back and down. So we've made it through our version of sun salutations today. And now we'll move on to our standing strength. So if you need a glass of water at this point. Another thing to bring would be a towel for how sweaty we get up here. All right. So if you're using your block, you might want one or two at the front, or one at the front, one in the middle. Let's take our right foot forward to the front of our mat and our left foot back. Doesn't have to go too far. We're bending our front leg. Chest expansion for our lunge today, opening the heart. You can check in, see how it feels to close your eyes here. If not, keep them open. Just find a spot to maybe focus your gaze. And then try to just stare right through it. Our heel goes down and we bow as an option into humble warrior. Our front leg is still bending if possible. Rising back up, inhale, and into warrior two. So now our right arm's forward. You may need to adjust that back toe to come out a little bit more if it feels better for you. Bending our front knee. And cactus arms today in warrior two to stretch our chest. We've got our necks lengthened still. Making the time to experience joy. Back to our regular warrior two arms. So that's the palms facing the mat. And we'll turn our back hand up. So that'll be your left hand. And you can look back at your left hand if you'd like to. Close your eyes, or you can picture a little bird resting there, keeping it steady and still, breathing calmly. Turning our palm back down, bringing our gaze around to the front, straightening out that front leg. So there's still a bend though. We don't want to lock it. I love those leggings, Jane, I just noticed. Open it up, reach it forward. And then if you'd like to move into triangle, you can. Blocks are really handy here, or chairs. So if you were to look up at your top hand, if you could drop a string right from that middle finger up there to your bottom finger. It wouldn't go behind you, it would stay in front of you. So last week we got off the hook, no balancing half moon, but not this week. We'll look at the front foot. Going to bring your back foot in a little bit though. Just tuck that arm back behind you. I know my shoulder's feeling the love right now too. So balancing half moon, the weight is going to go onto our front foot and we lift the back foot. Option, toe down, or use your block for your balancing half moon. And this is our peak pose today. So this is as great as it's going to get. Forward fold. That's as great as it's getting. Let the head hang here. Let it dangle. Shake your head no to any judgment. And nod our head yes to a nice inclusive practice. Let's inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. So our sun breath again. Inhale, reach up. Maybe clasp our hands together, back bend. Exhale, hands to heart, lengthen neck. Inhale, sweep. Exhale, dive, forward fold. Halfway lift. Fold again, breathe out. Sweep up, choose to add a back bend or no. Hands to heart, lengthen neck. Strong core, one more. Dive forward. Halfway lift. Sweeping back up, inhaling. Maybe a back bend, hands to heart, lengthen neck. We'll bring our hands to our sides and do that sequence with our amazing half moon at the end. This time your left foot's going to come forward. Your back heel's going to go back. But we're in our lunge first. So lunge, our heels off the mat, our front leg is bent. We're going to think of that back quadricep. So when you go to the gym, if you go to the gym or you have at one point, lots of time your lunge has got the bend in it. But in our yoga lunge, we're strong through this quad and the back leg. The heel is reaching, but it doesn't have to touch. Hands come back, chest expansion. If it feels unsteady for hands back, cactus arms is a modification you could use. And then we check in with how it feels to close our eyes If it doesn't feel good, just leave them open. Heel goes down and we can bow now into humble warrior. Or hands can be on a blocker chair in front of you. You don't have to be bowing in humble warrior if you don't want to. I make the time to experience joy. Let's rise back up. Inhale into our warrior two. So our left knee still bent, our left arm opens. Maybe we adjust our back foot only if you need to. Here we are. We'll check in with our front knees just to make sure it hasn't come in. It's nice and strong. And then turn our gaze down our backhand. So back down to the back door and turn that palm up. Just realized you can't see me. And we'll turn that palm back up. I'm back, ladies, on Zoom. Come back around to the front, straightening out our front leg. We've got a little bend. We're opening up and then reaching. We're working towards a little straightness in this leg, right? And then we come down into triangle pose. Modification, shorten your stance. You don't have to be too far apart. You can stay in your triangle or move into our balancing half moon. The weight's going to move onto the front foot. Maybe we have our block in our hand and it comes forward. And then we open up. Breathe. It's okay to touch down with your back foot. When we're ready, forward fold. Exhale. Head is dangling. Halfway lift, breathe in. Fold, breathe out. Sweep up, maybe a small back bend if you'd like to. And exhale, hands to heart, lengthening the neck. So we've already done our balance pose for the day. We don't have to add one in, but we'll make our way down onto the mats now. Let's take a breath up. Forward fold. If there's another way you'd like to get down to the mat, you can. We'll bend our knees and come down to all fours. Nice opportunity to take a drink here. And then we'll be sitting back onto our heels and sweeping our feet around to the front. A little drink. And turn our toes up. We're going to strengthen our knees a little bit. So build those muscles up around our knees to keep them strong. And we can do that by simply just engaging your quads, just engage them. Maybe those toes turn up a little bit as a stretch. So really good stretch there. Hands by our sides. If you can reach the floor, I can't. I have pretty short arms. Can reach up with your neck and maybe lift one leg just a fraction up. Yeah, right? Back down. Shake it out. Let's try the other side. So you might even notice if you activate your glutes too, it'll just kind of give you a little lift and then we lift that leg up. Oh. Simple movement, really great way to strengthen up your knees. How's the hip flexors feel good? Okay, relax. Yeah, exactly. This is that one big large muscle or the 4 large muscles that surround that area. So what we want to do is do it one more time. All right, so flex, lift, lengthen, strengthen the core, pelvic floor. Are you getting a cramp? Okay, let it relax. So what I want to show you now is just because a lot of times in Shavasana, you're already down on the mat and I don't have a chance to show you You want to have in Shavasana some space between your feet. And when you're there, just let the pinkies go out towards the edge of the mat. So you just let them relax. Sometimes we're sitting here and holding still that tension. So it's okay to just kind of let them be. All right. So back to our chest expansion. If you would like to keep your legs out, you can. If not, butterfly is your option today, on or off your bolster. So bolster is really great, or even a block for butterfly. Bernie got this for me. Yeah, I love Bernie. She'll be back soon. She was here with us on Monday. Okay, so butterfly, easy seat if you want to. Right on. So let's reach our left arm up and then turn the palm back and place it between our shoulder blades or somewhere around there, even the back of our neck, somewhere like that. And then the other hand will go back. Your thumb will lead the way so that the back of the hand comes back there. And maybe your fingers are touching here. Maybe they're not. Right? Yeah, so this is one of the movements we're going to try to do as much as possible throughout our practice. You don't have to reach. You don't have to touch. Next class, if you want to grab a strap before class, they're at the back of the room. So you just have that black thing there, or bring your own belt or something. And let's do the other side. Well, this arm will go up. The palm will go towards the middle of the back. Our elbows reaching up towards the sun. And the other one reaches back, thumb. Maybe this side feels more successful or less successful. No judgment. Breathe. And we'll relax. So either in butterfly, or you could walk your feet out a bit more if that doesn't feel nice for your hips. And we're going to just breathe for a few breaths. One way to find your breath or your lungs is to bring your hands on your rib cage, either fingers forward or thumbs forward. I like thumbs forward and reaching back. So just down at the base, anywhere that feels nice or not. Let's take a deep breath in and really pay attention to your rib cage and your lungs expanding it. See how they're filling. Now on this next one, breathe fully in. And when you think they're full, sip a tiny bit more in. And then breathe out. When you think they're empty, push out just the last bit of air. A few more. You can use that cleansing breath by taking in a little bit extra and pushing out a little bit more, or you don't have to. All right, let's relax those wrists. Give our wrists a little bit of love again, and we'll be making our way to our bellies. Take your time. Oh, you can move your bolster off to the side. And a couple variations of Cobra today. If you're taking care of your back, though, you may want to put a block underneath your sternum. So if you don't want to have to use as much back power here, you can kind of, and you'll still stretch it, right, with that block under your sternum. All right, so Sphinx at first, our elbows are kind of on the outsides of this block, and then we're reaching our chest forward and up. And let's just look at the floor, nice long neck, or close our eyes. And we'll release and walk the hands back to where the elbows were. Elbows will come in towards our rib cage, and we can lift or have our block here. Those shoulder blades are drawing down the spine and hugging it. All right, relax, take your block out, Create a little triangle with your hands if you want to rest your forehead down there. This is an opportunity to let your back relax. So all those muscles that were working really hard a few breaths ago will now let go. You can let your back melt down into your front. So the shoulder blades melt into the chest. The spine melts down towards the belly. The face is relaxing. From here, we'll be rolling over onto our backs. Take your time getting there. There's not a whole bunch left to do, so it's not super important that you be able to see me. So you can roll onto your backs, take the knees into your chest, find that rock side to side. Massaging your lower back down onto the earth. And then we'll be bringing our knees to 90 degrees, so they're stacked on top of our hips. And our arms will open up wide like wings with the palms facing up towards the ceiling. And then from there, moving into cactus arms. So the backs of the hands coming down onto the mat, feeling how wonderfully stretched our chests are at this point. We're using our core by anchoring our lumbar spine down into the earth. And if you'd like to now, moving into legs up a wall. So just straightening our legs out, reaching the heels towards the sun. Softening our face. I make the time to experience joy. Let's bend our knees now, place the soles of the feet down on the earth, a foot or two from our backside. We'll bring our hands to our sides, palms up or down, and slowly come into bridge, lifting the hips up off the earth. You can hold up on your own or slide your block underneath your lower back to support it throughout this pose. This will stretch your quadriceps and your hams or your hip flexors from earlier. One vertebrae at a time, slowly lowering back down onto the mat. Moving into our final poses today, 2 twists, walking our feet out slightly wider than our hips so they go towards the edge of the mat, and we'll drop our knees over to one side. So you may come to the inside of one foot and the outside of another foot. Wherever you want to have your arms at this point in the practice is totally up to you. Slowly bringing it back up to center. A nice massage on the lower back as you drop over to the other side. Adjusting our feet if we need to feel more comfortable. So you're in that position for about 10 breaths. And when you're ready, slowly bringing those knees back up towards the sun and then drawing them into chest, taking a rock side to sides. What a wonderful practice today. And in our own time now, making ourselves relax into our Shavasana pose, our relaxation. So you can have, unless you have another pose you'd like to do, you can now, or you'll extend your legs long or with bent knees. You can let the pinkies fall out to the side if you want to let the hips relax, like I showed you earlier. If anyone would care for an eye cover, if it's too bright, please raise your hand and I'll bring you one. Be there 1 second. Welcome. So settle in. Check in. Remaining present today in our body. Feeling the earth come up to support us and allowing our body to be supported in this moment by the earth. A feeling of gratitude towards the earth. For being there for us. For our Shavasana today, choosing to focus on the breath and or also thinking about what activities make you feel joyful. And asking ourselves, how am I incorporating some of these into my daily life? Or simply repeating to ourselves, I make the time to experience joy. Starting to notice some outside sounds. Taking some deep breaths in and noticing that you can stretch your chest just by breathing deeply. We'll wiggle our fingers and our toes. We can move our wrists, our ankles, our necks. If our knees are bent, you can move your knees side to side, waking up your hips again. Just making some small movements until you are able to roll over onto one side. From there, take a deep breath in. And we'll slowly make our way back up to where we started in our easy crisscross on or off our bolsters today. And we'll take a deep breath in. Bring our hands to our heart, lengthen our neck. One more big breath in. Actually, one more. Reaffirming for ourselves today, I make the time to experience joy. Bring our hands to heart and gentle bow forward. Namaste. Thank you for joining me today. Enjoy the rest of your Wednesday. If you have any questions, I am here for you for a bit longer. Bye, ladies on Zoom.